Coming up on today's wrestling news, some monster names are set for the Royal Rumble.
The Kazuchika Okada Bidding War intensifies.
We'll tell you what working for Kevin Dunn was really like.
And Big E wants to make a smart decision on his WWE future.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. So it's the Royal Rumble on Saturday, Michael Hamflett. What are you doing for it?
I'm just going to sit right here, right in this chair, staring down that lens, but not at that camera. A big-ass screen with the Rumble itself on.
You know, I think I might join you for that one.
Well, if you're going to join me, and I'm going to be there, should we put a camera there as well?
Go on, then.
And film the reactions?
Join us on Saturday night for the Royal Rumble, where some monster names are set to at least be there, not necessarily being involved. The Undertaker, Michelle McCool, and Rey Mysterio will be in the building for the Royal Rumble on Saturday. This comes from a report from PW Insider. This news has been doing the rounds from after last Friday's SmackDown tapings. They are going to be there at the Tropicana Field on Saturday night. No indication right now of them being involved in the broadcast. Obviously, if you had to place a bet, you would assume out of the three, Rey Mysterio could well be involved one way or another. Not necessarily in the match, but obviously he's had that big feud with Santos Escobar and all the LWO stuff. The Undertaker is doing his one Dead Man show the night after the Rumble, and Michelle McCool has previously been involved in Rumbles and would be great to see in there yet again. Was she involved in last year's? Last year's the tracksuit year? I forget.
Think it might have been, yes, but she's had a good run in these Rumbles thus far. As you say, Rey Mysterio involved in the storyline, even though currently selling the injury. Undertaker, 60 new people to have a game of bones with. So no shortage of new bones opponents.
And Mrs. Undertaker being there, not only for the One Dead Man show reason, but also, potential involvement in the Rumble.
Christ, in sickness and in health when you sign those vows. Bloody hell.
But I literally cannot wait for Saturday night.
It's exhilarating. I want stories like this breaking every day. I want news of the Brock Lesnar's been sent a plane ticket or something like that. Let's have stories up until the day. Do you remember a few years ago, this is in Tropicana Field, there was another open air venue and somebody was capturing pictures with a drone of the test of the Titantrons. I thought, spoilers and that, which is, I guess, I get that some people don't like that, but I think it was Victoria's Titantron could be seen through the screen. It was oh my, it's just, this is the buzz. And of course, it's the buzz that leads to the buzz. The road to WrestleMania starts on Saturday, doesn't it?
Even the most casual fans, if you say, it's the Rumble on Saturday, go, I'll probably clear my schedule then, actually, because it's just... This is the reason why half of us got into wrestling. It's what they do 29 people over the top rope? That sounds awesome.
It's that time of year where everybody sort of comes together to watch pro wrestling, just to, even if they're lapsed or even if they're maybe not in the weeds week to week. It's that one time of year. And you sort of, to the point where you kind of think, well, look, if they hook you now, we can hook you all the way to WrestleMania. Are you going to WrestleMania?
I think I might pop along,
I'm going to WrestleMania.
Right.
Are you going to WrestleMania? Because if you are... Join us.
We got a bloody live show.
Come and join us in Philadelphia. We are the meat in the WrestleMania sandwich. We're going to talk all about what happened in night one and all the things to come at night two. It's going to be taking place Sunday, April 7th. It's going to be 12 o'clock, giving you ample time after the show is finished to get yourself across to WrestleMania itself, night two, if you are indeed attending that. If you're just in Philadelphia for all the wrestling taking place that weekend, as we know some people are, shout out Jose Palomares. The VIP tickets are all sold out, but there are general sale tickets still available. I believe there's a t-shirt package available as well if you want to get the exclusive shirt. WhatCulture.com/tickets. They are going fast. Don't be fooled by our desperate plugging that we will do every day between now and WrestleMania. It's just in our nature. But get on there quick if you want a ticket. VIP's all gone, but some general sale still available. Fast.
There's a tendency around WrestleMania, especially if you've been a few times before, you think, actually, I'm going to hold off for nearer the time because maybe I can get a better deal or different tickets will become available. Now, this is it. If you want to come to our show, get involved right now. WhatCulture.com/tickets. As Hamflett said, Sunday lunchtime on night two of WrestleMania. All the gang's going to be there.
Yeah, and we're going to be inviting along a special guest should he choose to make a big career decision of his own. Kazuchika Okada. The invitation to the What Culture live show is open to you if indeed you do sign with World Wrestling Entertainment and decide to debut at WrestleMania, which could still be on the cards.
Could be.
Has anything I've said just there been a lie?
It's a hell of a segue.
It is indeed. The bidding war is intensifying between WWE and AEW about, of course, Kazuchika Okada set to leave New Japan Japan Pro Wrestling. One of the biggest stories of the year, and it's only, the middle of January. It'll be the same in December. Whichever decision he makes, the Wrestling Observer, as Dave Meltzer, has been getting sort of, not words from both sides, but is getting comments that suggest that both sides believe they still stand a chance of landing this massive, massive fish. He said that people in AEW are confident to the extent they think you've got him, while the WWE sources are also still hopeful of getting him. He still says AEW are the favourite, which you would understand even as a layperson without the contacts and the connections based on the work that AEW has already done with New Japan and the work that Okada himself has done with AEW and Bryan Danielson specifically. But indeed, obviously WWE's interest in Okada was reported last year as we look upon still the relatively new world of WWE under Triple H and how they would deal with talents of this nature any differently. Okada's contract expires on the 31st of January, but he's actually going to finish with the New Japan on the 14th of February. So the Royal Rumble, you can rule out, barring any minor miracle. But basically after Valentine's Day, someone may capture that suitor's heart.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where when we reported on it last week, I think we all assumed, by Dynamite next week, they're going to have announced that they've signed Kazuchika Okada, but it does sound like it's still somewhat up in the air. Yeah, understandable that AEW are the favourites. But I'm an agent of chaos, Michael Hamfler, and I will say this, WhatCulture's very own Michael Sidgwick, he of Becoming All Elite, the best book there is out there about AEW. I asked him about it on the, I think, Collision Preview podcast, WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. He said he wanted to see him in the Fed.
Yeah, I think there is a longer form conversation to maybe be had about this.
Maybe on our own channel.
Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one.
WhatCulture Wrestling podcast channel. Later on today, we'll be live on YouTube talking all about this.
It is certainly not the open and shut case that it might have been a couple of years ago. And as with any sort of new signing now, whereas once one place seemed like milk and honey, the lineup of dream matches for a wrestler coming through like Okada, in my opinion, feels equal on both sides. Yes. But again, there's lots to be dug into, even if it already seems like this deal is done. It's an exciting story.
There's no way you'd like to see Kazuchika Okada in the comments section below. And we'll move on and talk about what it's really like working for Kevin Dunn. Obviously, he left at the end of 2023. Fightful Select now coming through with the report, talking about the final days in the company for him and what it's actually like. It's actually apparently he's not as difficult to work with as you would expect, according to Fightful Select. He did demand the best out of everyone, according to Fightful, and had many fingers in many pies. Graphics, lighting, camera work, audio, pyro, video. He was the ringleader of WWE's broadcasts. He often intervened and provided feedback if he saw something he thought could be improved. He got along well, apparently, with Triple H and Bruce Pritchard and obviously Vince McMahon, in getting involved with ideas with them. Didn't step on too many toes, but interestingly, Fightful writes of a focus on safety, talking all about Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania 38 as an example. There was a long hold on pyrotechnics for the explosion, so Dunn had to ensure that the camera crew filming from the ramp weren't hit. Because they do kind of go a bit bonkers on Mania for pyro.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Chris Warren of the DX Band once said, "Keep your finger off the switch, Dunn." So that nobody could get hit like that poor fan did after the Undertaker's entrance that one year.
God, yeah. Taker got it hit once, didn't he?
He did.
That chamber.
It was, just before Mania. It's funny we talk about these big WrestleMania entrances. We're going to be feeling the impact of Kevin Dunn leaving WWE for months, maybe even years to come. Not least because this will be the first WrestleMania that he doesn't produce, when he's often credited with so much of what we see. I'm assuming Kevin Dunn doesn't build the stages himself, but he must have so much to do with how they look and be involved at the highest level with all those meetings, because it's how it's going to look on screen as much as how it's going to look in the building, right? Yeah. So the first Kevin Dunn-less WrestleMania will be as interesting as what we thought was last year's first Vince McMahon-less WrestleMania. Maybe this is the first without both of those.
Triple H in charge of lots of skulls.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Skull WrestleMania. Less witches rain your children, which could explain why the Roman numerals are already back. Triple H want that, having that back.
Love me.
Got that XL on the Liberty Bell.
Works so well because it's XL. It's massive. It's WrestleMania. Massive. But it's also 40 if you know your Roman numeral.
This guy, he's decoded it. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Crack the code. X plus 1, 2. Who could it possibly be? X plus 1 is Y.
It's Stone Cold. Yeah, look, there's plenty of awful stories about Kevin Dunn, and I just think the reality is I imagine both these things can be true.
Yes, yeah.
People that would have worked with him at various different points might have had great experiences with him. There are a lot of people with some very dark tales about Kevin Dunn. That's the reality of 30 years working in a, Vince McMahon-led organisation with that corporate culture as well. The stories will drop for years and years and years. I predict that he'll basically become another one of them names that certain wrestlers name drop. Yeah, Vince loved me. I just couldn't get on with a blasted creative team. I was a big Kevin Dunn guy. We kind of still keep in touch. I think he's going to be, now that he's gone, another one of those kind of old WWE pillars has fallen. I think you'll hear his name more and more in stories like this.
But really intrigued to see what WrestleMania looks like without Dunn's influence.
I wonder what the New Day will like to produce. I bet they were a dream for a Kevin Dunn. Shout out to Big E, who is a friend of the channel and somebody we miss from our screens, but at the same time hope that he's enjoying life as much outside of the ring as he was back in it before his obviously dreadful neck injury in early 2022. And we've got a bit of an update from Big E. He says he wants to make, quote, a smart decision on his professional wrestling future. This is from an interview with TMZ. I'm just going to read word for word what he said, because I think he's a man worth listening to more than anybody else when it comes to his future, quite honestly. He says, quote, I don't have a timeline, unfortunately, but thank you for asking. I just want to make a smart decision. I didn't start wrestling to end up in a wheelchair, so I want to make sure I'm making the best decision for myself. From August 2023, he'd added that doctors have said they shouldn't wrestle again. They said, hey, I would not wrestle again if I were you. So for me at 37, these are things to think about. I started this job at 23 years old, probably had a bit of a death wish and was okay dying in the ring. Now, at 37, I would like to not die in the ring. I would like to do other things in my life. This is a wonderful and rational man that we all know and love, making rational decisions about his future. It's not an easy thing to have to come to terms with, I guess. It's funny he mentions being 37. I'm older than 37, and it would be scary to think I can't do the thing that I love to do, which is this, basically. And this is nothing compared to what it is to go out there in front of all those crowds and live that best life as he so brilliantly did. But make the right decision by you, Big E. Come back if you want to, don't if you don't, and we all wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, obviously, his sensational personality means he's going to succeed in whatever he decides to do. A lovely man, as you say, and that's why I'm so apprehensive when people were probably book Big E for the number 30th spot in this year's Rumble. It's not if he's not bloody cleared, because I'd rather, like you said, he stayed home and stayed healthy than just for the sake of a pop, come back and risk his career, if not his life.
Tiny little asterisk in there as well. It is pro wrestling. And if this is some elaborate work, which I feel is worth mentioning, I don't think this is personal. I don't use my personal feelings on this, but if this was some sort of elaborate work to set up a huge pop, and you see
I gotta hope it is.
You see them setting up a little Imperium New Day thing on Raw, which appears to be a slot for Jey Uso to fill in. It's kind of all the Usos New Day lore, but if that was for that and there was a Rumble and there was a whatever, we'd all go crazy. But this is the point, it's only out of love. It's love for whatever choice Big E makes.
Get well soon, Big E. Right, let's move over to your Twitter questions, at WhatCulture, WWE, of course. Actually, the first one's not really a question. It's just a statement we got sent, but I felt like a lot of people have been tweeting about this over the last day or so, and I'd love to get your thoughts. I'm going to get Michael Sidgwick's thoughts, by the way, on the Collision Review podcast, WhatCulture Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. Hedgehog Action simply sent a message that said, it's happening! Hashtag AEW, hashtag AEW Collision, hashtag rankings. Your thoughts?
We're still fighting for this title.
Come on!
It's an amazing decision. I saw the announcement on Twitter before I saw it on Collision and couldn't believe I was reading it. I did that thing now without the Twitter being as clear as it used to be, or X with the blue checks. I was like, right, he's done the the match graphic guy. I thought, he's done me here. I couldn't believe it was real. Read it again. Rankings were never a bad thing. I know there are people, and sound off in the comments as long as you're kind about it, why you might believe that they weren't necessarily the easiest things to work with, but good. Some restrictions are good, some rules in place can be good, and yes, it takes more work, but I would rather they work within a system they've created and can tweak and tinker with than have no system at all.
Absolutely.
I think 2023 was comfortably, as a calendar year, AEW's worst year yet, and it was the first calendar year, creatively I'm talking, the worst calendar year without the rank, the first one without the rankings.
Michael, when we criticised AEW in good faith, we were told that we were being completely negative, and now those same people are saying the power's back. How can the power be back if the power never went and we were always wrong? I'm confused.
I would like to confirm that as of the rankings returning, I am officially leaving the AEW hate cycle. It's been a pleasure serving with you.
That
really, call, right?
Really wound me up. Absolutely, more than overdue. Maybe now book 2 women's matches on Dynamite.
I think it's coming.
Because he listens.
I think, yeah. Well, that's the point as well. That's a very good point.
Even though we've got Dr. Fed, we will give you the medicine that you need, Tony.
I'll do a bank shift in AEW when surgery is required.
Dr. Fed is all elite.
Dr. Fed's getting paid off both sides.
Bacon's manager asks a good question with the Rumble being on Saturday. Good morning, my very good news personalities. If you're in the Rumble and you know that number 30 has been taken, which number would you like to be?
29?
Would you?
Yeah. I think just work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
Something like a Royal Rumble. It's not the Iron Survivor where there's
no pressure on that pop either.
No.
I was waiting for 30.
Yeah, that's it. There's no merit to gritting your teeth and gutting it out and all that sort of stuff. 29. To be fair as well, 29, as you say, with number 30 waiting and all eyes on who's going to be big number 30 and the match already taking place, you could hide under the ring. Yes. It's probably the best spot to get the most rest and hide.
Just walk slowly.
Yeah. Strictly from a strategic point of view, I'm taking 29, thanks.
I'd probably take 1 because I'm hardcore.
Yeah.
No, I want to be number 27 because I want to restore the law.
Yeah.
Hashtag restore the law. To that number, because everyone's 27, lucky number. And it's not anymore, is it? It's the same number of people from 1 or 30 or whatever.
By the numbers isn't what it used to be, isn't that video now? No. I think, did we have Rhea Ripley went from number 1 last year, didn't she?
Yeah, so Gunther and Rhea Ripley both started.
Edge went from number 1 in Death Thunderdome.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels won it from number 1.
Yep.
There was another winner from number 1.
Ray was number 2, wasn't he?
Ray was number 2. Yeah. So that's at least 4 winners from number 1, if memory serves. 3 from number 30, I think. So the number 1s have now overtaken number 30, and 4 used to be the number for 27.
I wonder if Punk's going to get 27 this year.
Oh, man, yeah. Keep remembering he's in the Rumble. I keep remembering tonight Cody and Punk are facing off.
Never mind that. What's going to happen with the... Well, actually, I'll get onto it now. A question from Brian George. Good morning, guys. Thank you, Brian, for your question. I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but if Rollins does relinquish the title on Raw, will it send the wrong message, seeing as Reigns only shows up for a cup of coffee once every few months and has only defended his title 4 times in a year?
It's wrestling's not real, is it?
No, it needs to go.
I get the point.
Acknowledging.
I absolutely get the point, and I think it's worth praising one thing without burying the other. I think it's worth praising Seth Rollins as a workhorse without saying, by the way, if you look over here, because that doesn't necessarily help the aesthetic you're trying to create with Roman Reigns as the god of all of this. I cannot wait for that announcement. It's I think they know more than is being let on here. I
read something, I could be bollocks.
Yeah.
I read that he might be alright for Mania.
I could be completely wrong, and this could be a tear-soaked, I don't know when I'm going to be back, this is sort of heartbreaking. Obviously, this is not what I wanted for my first reign as champion, the belt's first reign in existence. But I have a feeling they know that he's going to be okay, and this adds, they're going to turn a negative of his injury into a positive of a story, and have this be Seth's road to WrestleMania is, does he even make it?
Yeah.
You've got
again.
You've got the Rumble and the Chamber to set up opponents potentially, but Seth in the meantime is hobbling along, keeping his fingers and toes crossed that he actually makes it to the card.
We'll talk more about this on the Raw preview podcast with Michael Sidgwick as well later on today. But right now, what do you think's more likely? Damian Priest cashes in tonight on Raw, or tonight on Raw? Well, the alternative here is Seth Rollins is actually fine and can just take a few weeks off and what have you, but that's not fun, right? In terms of your predictions here. Damian Priest cashes in, new World Heavyweight Champion, and you hot dog that, or play with that until you can know whether Rollins can work Mania, or they put the title on the Rumble, i.e. winner of the Rumble doesn't win a shot at WrestleMania, they win the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered.
Cody eliminates himself, I don't want this.
The 1992 or 2016 drama. Maybe.
Preferably 1992.
Yeah, that one please. Maybe. Either way, let's have Drew McIntyre, again in a tribute to another famous Rumble moment, kick Seth's leg out of his leg. Let's do that.
Yes.
Like a claymore to the injury.
If they do put the world title on the Rumble and Damian Priest doesn't cash in following a 30-man Rumble, he's the thickest Money in the Bank winner I've ever seen.
How would that work? Could you enter the Rumble, but then immediately throw yourself on so you're fresh? I'm already in it, so why would I wrestle?
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah! Oh god! Like Dominic.
I'll just sit here with a briefcase, probably.
Tom, lift me! Damn, you're too heavy. That's actually a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
He's got Dominic and Jamie McDonough trying to, and then R-Truth does it for him. I got you, pal.
Yes. But all the fallout from tonight's Raw on the news tomorrow morning. We're actually waiting for that. Make sure you get tickets for us at WrestleMania, whatculture.com/tickets. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.